Welcome to Pathfinder Link. I'm going to show you how easy it is to manage a lump sum project within the system. The first thing that we're going to want to do is come up here to our drop down and pick our project. Project that we're going to be looking at is called the completed lump sum. So we'll select that project and come over here to our project file. You can see within the project we have the completed lump sum project. We have the pertinent information, customer information, craft rates, equipment rates, customer users. And if you have a similar project that you want to copy this project and use the same format, you have the ability to do that right there. You can edit the project info by clicking on this box here. You can see over here on this side, you have the labor portion of that. There's been 11 different employees worked, 1,311 hours on this particular project. If there are any pending or outstanding payment applications that you have completed but not yet submitted, those would be here. Here's your total equipment hours. Any invoices submitted not paid or your aging would show up here. If there are any pending or outstanding change orders, RFIs, or submittals, those will be right in front of your face right here. If there's any credit card charges with the company credit card that need to be reconciled, then those would show up here. And any pending commitments, which would be a PO written to a vendor for a particular material or service. Those would show up here. That would also include your subcontractors. So if you need to drill down into that, you can click on the More tab here. As you come down, you can see the project checklist. This will help you set the project up in the correct order, make sure you have everything that you need set up for the project. If there's any project notes, you would note them here. Any project links that you want to send people to different websites to look at different materials or anything like that, you can add those here. This is not a daily log. I'll show you where the daily logs are in here in just a second. On the contract details, the way that the project is set up is you go in and you set up your schedule of values, which gives you your contract value, $151,762.50. You have your budget set up, $130,211. And then you have your expected profit, which is the difference between the two. We're expecting to make $21,551.50 or a 14.2% gross margin. As we add cost to the project, that's going to show up here, and you can see that we've got all of our cost added here. We've added $128,495.54 of cost to the project. And now whatever's left over is what we have for our actual profit. This number right here counts down from 100% all the way down to whatever it is when you complete the project. So right now we have earned or made $23,266.96 or 15.33% gross margin. Anything that's been billed will show up over here and you can easily keep track of it. Down here gives you a few extra metrics that you can see when the last billing date was. You can see when the last payment received was, the last timesheet entered, aging, invoices submitted not paid, total collected to date, and remaining to bill. So once you get that done, you come into the budget. You can set the budget up as simple or as complex as you choose. You can add 100 items or you can add 2 or 3 items. Doesn't really matter. It's up to you. But you can see, let's just take a look at this mobilization example. We've entered a quantity of 240 man hours when we started this project, and we've worked a total of 288 man hours. This is not a manual function. This is a function that tracks the time as it is entered through timesheets. So we can see that we've scheduled 240 man hours. We've actually used 288 man hours, and we were supposed to spend $28 as a crew average composite for this project. So in order to check that, what we would do is come over here and click on this 851120, and you can see how many guys or gals worked on this project right here, how many hours they worked, and what their total cost was. You can see in this situation that we spent $29.55 per man hour worked, and we had scheduled 28. So if you look at this early and often, you'll be able to manage that wage so you can maybe trade out a craftsman for a laborer or something along those lines in order to keep under your budget. The next thing that we're going to do is look at the labor timesheets. This is where you would add your labor timesheet. You would add your equipment timesheet over here. That's what feeds the project and gives you your committed cost for labor and equipment. You want to do a daily log for the project, you come into the daily log right here. You can easily add verbiage on work performed. You can type this in. You can do it on your phone and push the microphone and talk to text. You can add files, documents, or pictures by dragging and dropping, or use this on your tablet or phone and take pictures direct from there. Any verbal agreements that need to be talked about and solidified can go here. Problems and delays, same Dropbox for all of it. Subcontractor issues, submit the log, time, dates, and stamps, everything, so that there's no question on when that happened. If you need to PDF the log and send it to a customer or somebody else within your company, you can easily do so right here on this log report. Contract communication, this will cover RFIs, submittals, and change orders. You can do an RFI, and it's if the RFI turns into a billable item, then you can easily turn that RFI into a change order without any extra work. Any submittals or anything like that that you have, you can create those submittals and it'll track that and keep it in a nice organized log. If you come in and open up the change order log, you can see that we have one in here. If you hover over this link right here, you can see that change order number 1 is linked to RFI number 1. As you approve these change orders in here, you come into the budget. It's going to automatically create a budget item for you for change order number 1. So you'll never ever forget to bill change order number 1. Same thing when you go into your schedule of values. If you go into your schedule of values, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to create change order number 1 schedule of values right here, so that never gets left out. The next thing in payment applications, as you come through payment applications, it'll track all of your applications nice and neat. It'll give you a nice PDF that you can send to your customer. And this one happens to be connected with QuickBooks, so it sends a copy of everything into QuickBooks so that you can keep your P&Ls, balance sheets, different things like that in order. Aging, all of those reports are maintained within QuickBooks on this particular setup. Payments received, any payments that you have received from your customer will show up here through the bank feeds, through QuickBooks. Commitments and expenses, again, this is your PO log right here. Any credit card charges, any POs that you've written to vendors will be taken care of right here. And you can see on this status right here, if there's anything that's pending, you will not be able to close this job until that pending commitment is committed or is taken care of in some way, either deleted if it didn't get used or committed through the invoice from the vendor. Employees, if you are in a situation where you have 50 employees, but you only need to do a timesheet for 5 of them for a particular project, you can just go in and click those 5 employees so you don't have to scroll through 50 employees every time you want to do a timesheet. You can open up the customer view. The customer will be able to see the overview, which is the project information, any submittals, RFIs, change orders, schedule of values, payment applications, any payments received that they have made payments on, and project documents, which would be your daily logs. So you have access to be able to see what they're seeing. In case they have any questions, you can open it up and look and walk them through if you need to. When you get out of that, there's a subcontractor portal where you can manage all of your subcontractors and everything that happens with your subcontractors. The system will not allow you to overpay a subcontractor. So once you put their quote in there, unless there's some kind of a change order to change the value of that subcontract, then the system will not allow you to overpay that. Project reports, we have our project control summary over here. This is a good profit and loss statement for your project. You can see what the initial contract amount was, the initial budget amount, approved change orders, and it just goes through what your profit margin should be. You should be at least what % complete of this project based on what you've spent. You come down here, then you go through all the man hours. It tells you how many man hours that you have worked or what percentage of man hours you've worked of your budget. Gives you all those metrics down here. And then down here gives you your billing in excess of cost. So you bill 118.11% of your cost. And it's 2.96% overbilling, which would be the difference between that and your change order. So that's the project report. And then if you come into the documents, essentially what this will allow you to do is you can upload plans, any pictures or anything like that, customer service or warranty items that you need to document or note. You can give people edit access, or you can give them read-only access, and you can give that access based on their permissions within the system, so they can see things that you allow them to see. So that's what the project management tool looks like for a lump sum project. Give us a call over here at Pathfinder Link, or look us up at pathfinderlink.com, and we'd be happy to give you a demo and show you a little bit more about what the system does. Thanks.